Hey everyone, welcome back to Homestead Corner. I'm Ginny. Today, let's talk about this fuel crisis. We are seeing more and more problems with fuel in this country. And we talked a little bit last week about what's going on overseas and that it's going to come here, and it is coming a lot faster than even I thought it would. Everything seems to be moving at lightning speed right now, all of these issues. So last week we saw a refinery in Indiana caught on fire, and that's shut down until it can be repaired. That is going to wreak havoc on our fuel supply across the country, I believe. It will definitely, because they're going to have to spread the rest of it out, and it's going to reduce the amount that's available, which will raise the price. And now, yesterday, one of our local news stations put out an article, and they were talking about how the fuel levels in New England are at the 5-year average that we normally have for fuel levels in our supply is 63% below that 5-year average. That is a huge drop in the amount of fuel that's available. And that's just heating oil and diesel. So 63% low, that's huge. When in Maine, 60%, more than 60% of the people here and homes use heating oil to heat their homes. This is going to cause massive, massive problems this winter. One emergency could just wipe everything out and become a huge problem. And it is not just here in Maine. It is all of New England is 63% below the 5-year average of the supply of diesel and heating oil, and also 58% below in New York to Maryland. So this is going right down the coast, about halfway down. So we really need to look at this. This is really the colder climate on the East Coast, the northern part of it, and we're really going to struggle with the ability to get heating oil for many people this winter. Lots of people have been waiting and waiting to buy oil because the cost is so high. It was up over $6 a gallon in the spring, and still it's at $5 a gallon. That is a ridiculous amount for heating oil when you go through so much in just a short time. Heating oil goes so quick. I will link the article down below in the description box if anybody wants to check it out. And this is from a local news station here in Maine. And if you read it, you'll see they're saying this is all because of the war in Ukraine, and there's no crisis, just nothing to see here. We all know the truth. So whenever I see a crisis coming on, the first thing I think of is what can I do to prevent this for my family? How can I help my family get through this crisis? So I put a small list together of just a few things that we can all do. One thing you can do is block off areas of your house. If you have 2 floors, you're going to want to block off the upstairs probably. Or, if there's no water up there, you want to make sure that you are only heating the areas that you have to use. Sometimes when you get down on fuel so much, you're going to need to block it off. If you go completely without heat, you can block off a single room and live in that room. Your whole family. Is it comfortable? Not really, but you got to do what you got to do to survive. And you can, we have had sleeping bags in the kitchen before because no power, whatever, or the living room, wherever, depending on where we lived, had it happen numerous times. You can, all stay in one room, everybody sleeps together. Your body heat helps heat the room. If you have got a blanket over the door, it will really help hold that heat in there as well. Sleeping bags, you can get them down to minus 20 degrees sleeping bags Fahrenheit, and you can literally sleep outside in these sleeping bags. they're great. But check your thrift stores, definitely. Thrift stores are wonderful for sleeping bags. Also, wool blankets really hold the heat in. They are wonderful. Your emergency blankets is another way to go. If you don't have a tarp or plastic or something to cover the door, an emergency blanket will work for that, to keep that heat in. You can cover over with them. They are wonderful to have. Kind of noisy, but you'll stay warm. Also, a small tent. If you can put a tent in the living room, you can all sleep in the tent. I would only get a tent as big as the size of your family. If you have 3 people in your family, I wouldn't buy a 10-person tent to try and put up inside the house. But a 4-person tent, something that you can fit in comfortably to sleep, and it will help hold the heat, and everybody will stay much warmer at nighttime this way. And it really, a tent inside the house really can make wonders happen. And you can move furniture out of the living room or whatever room you're in, the kitchen, you can stick it in the kitchen. And if you are able to cook in the kitchen, that is wonderful. That adds heat as well. Candles can add heat. It gives you light, helps. It does add a little heat to your home. Also, lanterns. Lanterns can also be really wonderful to add heat and light. So those are really good ones to have handy in your home. The next thing is plastic off your windows. They sell kits, even at the Dollar Tree. I have found kits to put those shrink plastic things on your windows. They help insulate. Thick drapes, those help insulate your windows, and keep that cold air out, so it can help save you on fuel while you have fuel. And if you don't have fuel, it can help keep that out. Opening the curtains when it is sunny out. If you have got a window that really gets some nice sunny heat, open those curtains up when the sun is out and close it off when the sun goes away from the window. That will help warm up the room, bringing the sun in, and then closing it off again afterwards to keep that cold out. Dressing in layers, that is another thing. I've always done that when my family has been an outdoorsy family forever. As a child, we were ice fishing on the lake and it was 0 degrees, or lower. But dressing in layers is really great for these cold times. A t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt, a flannel shirt, a hoodie, a jacket. I've had 10 things on at once. It feels kind of weird at first. You're really bulky, but it keeps you so warm. And as you get warm, you can take layers off, which is great. In the summertime, you can only take off so much, but in the winter, you can keep piling it on, which is wonderful. So to keep yourself warm. And hats in the house, even when you're sleeping, like a stocking hat, the little knit hats, I don't know what they're called. The burglar hats, those. But those keep your head really warm. Back in the 1800s and years, forever, they slept with hats on to keep themselves warm. And it really works. You got that hat on, it helps keep you warm. Scarves, another great thing to have on hand. Gloves. Having that cold weather gear and attire can really help you. So there are quite a few things that you can do to help keep you and your family warm. So if you are low on fuel, you can't afford fuel, or there is no fuel, keep an eye on this fuel crisis. I think it is so important. We really need to pay attention to this. This is going to be a big problem. Not only are the fuel levels low, the lower they get, the higher it's going to cost. I really believe a lot of people will be priced out this winter. It's awful, but it's the way it is. There are always heating assistance programs, and I think every state probably has them, especially the colder states. Our state has one. You go right on your state government page and you should be able to find a heating assistance program. If they're not already full, I would imagine people are definitely applying and trying to get ready for what is to come. And it is not going to be easy. If you have any other ideas about how to stay warm in the wintertime, please put it in the comments down below. You may save someone's life by giving them an idea that they didn't think of. This is such a wonderful community and everybody is so helpful. You guys are amazing. You know that? You're just amazing. You amaze me all the time. Please help out a fellow person. We need to help each other to get through this crazy mess that we're in. And that's it for today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.